Hi everybody, welcome to Dandelion Cottage and Watercolor Wednesday. I'm Leslie Watkins. Well, we have another glorious autumn day here in New England, and I was just out in the garden, and these are some of the colors that I found out there that I thought would be really pretty to paint today. The witch hazel looks spectacular. So the tree has dropped all of its leaves now, and all that remains are these incredible flowers. And it's just wonderful to see something blooming this time of year. So this is early November, and we've had some rain lately, but today is a beautiful sunny blue sky day. These are some maple leaves from my silver maple. Very pretty. And then I've got some gorgeous color here from one of my blueberry bushes. Just spectacular. I found a few berries left on the ilex, but the birds have taken most of them. There's just a little bit left. A little Rebecca. These are the leaves from my smoke bush. Very beautiful. The gorgeous fall asters are blooming like crazy. So they look like this, and there's lots of wasps and bees and all sorts of other bugs looking for a late summer, early autumn snack. And finally, I have some aconite. The rain has knocked most of the petals off of it, but you can get a sense, well, a little bit of a sense of what it looked like. It was so brilliant and just such a powerful color out in the area by the foot of my driveway. So those are that's the palette. Let me see if I can get this better on here for you to see the whole thing. So there it is. Just beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little impression today using this color palette. I'm just going to move these over, clear a little room for the painting. There we go. Okay, so that is my inspiration. And I'm just going to check my settings, make sure that this is working. Yep, okay, good. And good morning, Kelly. Thank you for joining me today. I have some very basic supplies. I've got a little scrap of the shimmery white paper, so this has a little bit of a kind of a starry shine to it. And then I have the very vanilla thick card base. So this is just a standard size card. This measures 4¼ by 5½. And then I've used the deckled rectangles die set, and I just used the biggest one to cut out this shape with this wonderful deckled edge. And I just love these dies. We're going to use these again today. So I'm just going to put these pieces aside for the moment and get my paints out. So here is my palette. I've got yellow, red, and blue, and I'm just going to get my paints moistened here. There we go. And by the way, the subscription for the Watercolor Card Club is now open for the the November, December session. And you'll find that link below. And you can learn all about the Watercolor Card Club. It does include a live Zoom class where you can ask questions and share your work and get critiques, see what everybody else is doing. It's a wonderful, wonderful group of people, and you'll have a lot of fun. And you know, winter's coming right up. It's going to be a great time to sharpen your watercoloring skills in time for the spring when garden season comes round again. We're going to be doing a garden journal this year. Okay, so I am going to, I think I want to make a vertical card. So I'm just going to splash some of these colors on here. And there is a kitten, a very curious kitten, who's inspecting the watercolors right now. So don't be surprised if she makes an appearance on the show here today. All right, so I'm just getting some yellow, red, and blue, and I'm just going to let that kind of move around the paper. Because we're doing the video, I'm just going to blot it a little bit to remove the excess moisture. And I'm going to add, actually, going to give the back a little bit of a spritz while it's still wet. There we go. All right. So now I'm going to begin adding my color, and I'm going to zoom you in so you can get a better view. There we go. Okay. So the paper is still very wet, but not so wet that I can't get a little bit of a leaf shape here and there. So there's my silver maple leaf. And let's see, get some blueberry leaves over here, and maybe a smoke bush leaf here. Now, not all of this is going to show, okay? So I'm just getting my my colors arranged so that the ones that I'm most interested in are going to be closest to the center here. So there's a start, very easy. Now I have this little ilex with the berries, so let's see. I'm going to add some of these yellow-green leaves. A little more yellow than that, I think. There we go. We've got somebody stepping in the paints. Look who's here. And she's gotten so big. That little kitten that I showed you a couple of weeks ago has doubled in size. So there she is, the Princess Sophia Maria, getting into trouble. Okay, she says hi. All right, I'm going to put you down. Hey, Cookie. Thanks for joining me today. What does she say? She's taking a break. What are you taking a break from, Cookie? Nosy people want to know. All right, so there is some splotches of color. Now I want to get those little berries. So I'm going to put a couple of those around. There we go. Now I'm okay with those colors bleeding into one another. I want that. So I'm purposely bringing the brush to some of these areas where it's very wet so that we can get a nice feeling of that watercolor kind of swirling around. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to take a darker mixture now and see if I can put some of the, that's a little too wet. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that, what I wanted to do, because it's just too wet right now, but that's okay. We'll just leave it for the moment. All right, so I'm going to put this aside to dry for a minute. In fact, you know what? This is going to be one of those times when I think I'm going to go ahead and turn the sound off and use my heat gun to make this dry a little bit faster. So I'm going to turn the sound off for just a second. Okay, it's a little bit drier. It's still kind of damp, but I'm going to see if I can get some of the lines of the veins on these leaves for a little more detail. There we go. All right, so just a little bit of drawing with the brush. There we go. Now another thing that you could do at this stage, which would be a lot of fun, I'm not going to do it today, would be to use your heat embossing and add a little bit of metallic glimmer. It would be very pretty. But I'm just going to keep this simple today because I want to show you, I want to get to the next stage. Just a couple more strokes here and there. There we go. Okay, and then the last thing I want to do is find my, well, I don't see my toothbrush, so I'll just use my paintbrush. I want to add a little bit of spatter. So I'm taking a, zoom you out so you can see. Taking a fair amount of paint on my brush, and I'm just going to flick that around for a little bit of added texture, because these leaves have these little, you can see these little spots on them. Okay, so to try to capture a little of that feeling. All right, so that's my little picture. I'm going to turn the volume down just again to give it a quick heat with the heat gun. Hold on just a moment, please. All right, so I think you can hear me again. Now I've got one more thing that I'd like to add. So I'm going to zoom you way in. And that is, I have this gold ink. So I'm going to give this a shake. And this is going to get a little bit messy, so I'm going to grab a paper towel. Just put this under here. All right, and I'm going to grab one of my water painters. I'm going to see if I can get this to flick some gold on there. There we go. Not too much, just a little. All right. I'm just going to blot that, help it dry a little bit faster. All right. There you go. I think you can see the gold in the light. Very pretty. Alrighty, so that's the artwork done. Let's get to the card making. I'm going to move some things away here so we don't get paint on everything. Now I'm going to go back to my deckled rectangles, and this time what I want to do is I want to see which size, and I think this one would be perfect. Okay, so I'm going to use the rectangle that suits the area of the artwork that I want to expose. So I like this one. And just see that again. It's pretty much right in the center. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the larger piece of the very vanilla that I cut out using the largest deckled rectangle, grab my cut and emboss machine, I think it's time for me to retire these plates. I think I've gotten every little bit of juice I could get out of them. I'm just going to line this up and get that centered. Actually, I'm going to raise it up a little bit so that there's a little more room on the bottom. It looks pretty good. Now I can save this for a sentiment on another card, so I'm going to put that in my goodie box. Alright, now check to make sure this is dry. That looks good and dry. Hold that for just a minute. Now, you can make a beautiful, simple card just like that, but we're going to take this one a step further. I want to add a little bit of an embellishment here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my piercing tool and my piercing mat, and I'm just going to put two little holes like so. And then I'm going to grab some of my linen thread and a needle. So I've got a bookmaker's needle here. You can use an embroidery needle, will work just fine. I'm just going to take a little snip of my linen thread, so I've only got about maybe 6 inches or so here. And I'm going to go around about 3 times. I could see what I'm doing. Let's see if I can tie a teensy tiny bow here. All right, and then finally I'm going to get my dimensionals. These all around. This Saturday is going to be, I think it's the 8th or the 9th week of Christmas. And this is a free class that you are all invited to join. All you have to do is register, and I will give you the link to register below right after I do this video. I'd love to have you join us. Once you're in the class, you can access all of the other projects that I've made. There will be a total of 12. So there is my beautiful fall impression card, and I'm trying to turn it so that you can see that gold sparkle. There you go. I think you can see that. So just very simple, just beautiful papers, a little bit of texture, gorgeous autumn foliage. I hope that gives you some ideas. And I will see you next on Saturday at 12 o'clock for Paper Crafting Saturday, followed by the 12 Weeks of Christmas class at 12:30. Please join us. It's a wonderful group and the projects are really fun. I hope to see you there. In the meantime, I hope you really enjoy this beautiful, beautiful autumn season and all these wonderful colors that I love so much. I'm sure you do too. So thank you very much for joining me today. Stay well, stay happy, stay creative, and I will see you next time.